Hi friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. We share homeschool content here. I have a student that will be in 5th grade next year, and so all the stuff that I am going to share will most likely be for 5th grade level or up, because sometimes I'll buy stuff for future grades and then share them as well. This is another odds and ends video where I share some of our either smaller updates, new additions, and things we've been working on lately in our homeschool. So let's jump right in. Okay, we'll start with some of the books that I've picked up for, I think most of them are independent reading. There are a couple that would be something we read together. So the very first one is Lemonade War. I've actually had this on my list for a long time. It's about a sibling disagreement that leads to them having like competing lemonade stands, and along the way it naturally teaches about entrepreneurship, economics, math, communication, and just relationships as a whole. So I'm glad to finally have picked this one up. But yeah, what I do is I'll have books that I need for our curriculum, and then there's books that I have like that I have on a wish list type thing where I've been wanting to get them but haven't, and then those are the books that I'll use to like get to a certain point for free shipping, if I'm getting these off Thrift Books or wherever I'm getting them from. So yeah, Lemonade War. Okay, the next two books are ones that I actually saw on Village Voices Learning channel, and she was going over what she's going to cover this year, and these books spoke to me. So the first one is The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, and it looks like they're going to be doing a Netflix film. I wonder if they already have. Actually, I need to check. So this one is a true story about a boy who teaches himself engineering and builds a windmill to help his village during a devastating famine. So I'm very curious about this one. And then the other one that I saw on her channel was They Call Me Guedo. And this one, it's a novel in verse. So that means it tells a complete story, but instead of being written in traditional paragraphs, it's written as a series of poems or free verse poems. And this will be a new writing style for Aria. And so I'm kind of excited to introduce her to something new when it comes to a new writing style. And actually, as I was looking into this, I think one of our poetry books that we're going to be doing this year is also written in verse. And so, yeah, I think we're going to have 2 books this year that are in this writing style. So I'm really excited about these. And that YouTube channel, Village Voices Learning, she had really great things that they're going to be covering, and so that's a fun channel to check out as well. Okay, up next, you guys know I love a good spooky resource. So the Graveyard Book, this one is about a boy, and he's raised by ghosts living in a graveyard. It's supposed to be a coming of age fantasy with mystery, adventure, and then just enough spooky. And so I think this is going to be a read alone for her for this year for spooky season. Okay, and speaking of spooky season, I also picked up this Edgar Allan Poe illustrated tales, because Edgar Allan Poe is what we're going to be covering during spooky season for our literature block and poetry block. So excited about this. Okay, and a history grab that just came in is volume 3 of Tuttle Twins America's History series. And so we have volumes 1, we have volumes 2. This just came out, so I wasn't planning on covering it this year because when I planned this year, I didn't know that this existed. So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to fit it in this year. We'll see. But just for the sake of, you know, continuing them in order, we might try and then and maybe also go into the summer if we need to. So yeah, I got this to complete our set for America's history. Oh, and I forgot, I got one more spooky season thing. And I don't know if we're going to do this in science or nature study. I'm leaning towards nature study. But this is one of those dissected kits. It's like a gelatin. And then it has like, I don't know if you can see like the little body parts in there. You can see better right here. But yeah, it's a little bat dissected kit. I see a lot of people use the frogs for like science, and so I thought the bat would be fun for spooky season. Okay, and last but not least, I found a few things to add to our Shakespeare plans. So I picked up this, now I'm too close, Discovering Shakespeare, a workbook for students, a Midsummer Night's Dream. That's what we're going to be covering this year. I really liked this book. I didn't really know what to expect when I got it. But so far I really like this book. So I'm curious about when I pair it with some other resources I have that help with teaching Shakespeare to younger kids, like how they're gonna pair. But I really like the way that this is laid out so far. It does a great job of just kind of going over like each of the characters and like the plot line in general. And yeah, I'm excited for this. So this will be when we cover Shakespeare. And if you have watched any of my videos, you know we are a family of board gamers. And I love a good board game, but I also love a good vintage piece. And so when you combine the two, I just get really excited. Okay. So this is a 1966 literary strategy and trivia game. And so there's actually many different ways you can play this game. You can actually play this game without really doing anything with Shakespeare. There's like kind of like a chess type aspect, but it does have all the cards for the Shakespeare plays. It's in great condition for being from 1966 too. And I found this on, it's called Noble Knights. That's where I get a lot of my used board games. So it has the synopsis of all 37 plays, the chronology of history plays, and sources of famous quotations. It has the contents, then it has like all the plays in here. As You Like It, Comedy of Errors. And then the cards also, instructions. This is the board. I'm not gonna be able to get it all on camera, although it's not that big of a board for a board game, to be honest with you. His Globe Theater in the middle. And then this has the cards in it. And so one side has a picture of Shakespeare. And you have the quote. And so yeah, again, it's just going to be another way to kind of instill what we're learning and hope that some of it sticks. Okay, that's all I have for July's odds and ends video. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and until next time, bye.